how's it going? Chase Windu here again. So I did a TikTok recently talking about video game based movies. Decided what better way than to make a video that we go ahead and sort all the primary video game based movies. We're not talking about movies that involve video games like Gerard Butler's Gamer or Wreck It Ralph or anything like that, but video game based movies. So I've got a tier list pulled up, and we've got a stack of movie posters, and we're just going to grab one at a time. I don't know what's going to be coming. So we're going to get started on it. All right, let's go. All right. So this is what we've got we're working with here. So I'm in Google Slides, just something I threw together very quickly. You can see kind of your standard tiers S, A, B, C, D. And down in the lower right hand corner, so we've got a bunch of different movie posters. Like I said, they're stacked. Of course, I did save them, so I know what's in the stack per se, but don't know what order they're in. I just kind of stacked them up. So we're just going to go one by one and, and put them in a slot. And, of course, love to hear everyone's feedback in the comments. Let me know, hey, if I'm relatively on track or if I'm way off base. I'm definitely happy to have spirited discussion about any of these. So let's just get started right here. First one, and it's probably the newest one on this list. So Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Okay, this came out just recently and was kind of a reboot, I guess, from the ones that we grew up with, Mila Jovovich. If you have not seen this movie, don't. Save yourself the hassle. I'm going to go ahead and move this, by the way, right here in D, without a shadow of a doubt. If you have not seen it, I encourage you to save your money. Don't go see it. Yes, for all intents and purposes, it actually kind of had more relevant characters and more direct tie-ins of the story, but it tried to take 1, 2, and 3, cram them in a movie. And casting wasn't the best, and it was very bad. So I encourage you not to see it. Just don't put yourself through it. So it's not starting off very strong here. So Warcraft. Warcraft came out, and I've never been a WoW fan, to be completely honest. Now, obviously, this is thinking more of kind of the OG Warcraft, that was like Command and Conquer style, which I did play, and I have played WoW. But overall, nothing really outstanding about Warcraft. It was enjoyable, but nothing that really stood out. It didn't really set itself apart. But I wouldn't say it was high tier, so I don't want to go high mid, by saying, oh, it's a fun movie. So, we're going to put Warcraft down here and see. Like I said, it was fine. It was fine. It was enjoyable. But it just wasn't, top tier. Uncharted. Okay, so I said Resident Evil was the newest. I don't know why I said that since I saw Uncharted a couple of times. Big fan of Uncharted. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I was a little nervous about Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Not particularly fond of that, but that was going to be the deciding factor. It really was on Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg's dynamic, and it really really worked. And sure, it didn't, necessarily follow a plot from a game, but Uncharted's one of those that it doesn't really have to. So it was very enjoyable. Parts from the game. I guess I should have prefaced, I am going to try to avoid spoilers, even though some of these have been out for a while. I just don't find that very respectful. But there were some really good contents here. I wouldn't say it is top tier by any means, but I'm putting it in A for sure. Still a great fun movie, and I think that it has a lot of potential to continue further. So, next, okay, we got Tomb Raider. The newer Tomb Raider. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, but not Jolie's. But I will say about this Tomb Raider. Oh, her name's right there, Alicia V. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna get butchered. But Jolie's was good. It was kind of a breakout per se, but the thing about this Tomb Raider that I really enjoyed personally is there were so many scenes that were really taken directly from the games. It probably was the closest similar to the reboot, that Square Enix did most recently. Again, very enjoyable. I liked it. There were some like I said, fun scenes ripped directly from the games. I'm going to take Tomb Raider and put it up here as well. in A. Um, so now we're getting a little old school. All right, so we're talking Street Fighter, Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen this. I've not seen it. I'm not particularly a huge Street Fighter fan anyway. However, just because I haven't seen it, I'm not going to say, well, it looks like it was probably terrible and drop it in C and D. That's not particularly respectful. So we're going to drop any of these that pop up I have not seen in B. And for simplicity's sake, we'll just put a little thing here. Not seen. So any of these that pop up, I can't imagine there'll be many, but Sonic the Hedgehog. If you have not seen Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, unfortunately, I have not seen Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is very depressing, but I will see it. But Sonic the Hedgehog, without a doubt, S tier. The fact that the fans complained about the model and then they delayed and redid it and everything said so much. Not to mention, this came out, it was in February of 2020, right before the pandemic hit, and ultimately I believe it was the top selling movie of 2020 because of that. So without a doubt, Sonic is S tier, no doubt. And I'm sure Sonic 2 is just as good. And I'll have to just, honestly have to see that at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, Silent Hill. All right, so Silent Hill I have seen. It has been a while because generally I personally don't do horror movies anyway. But it's been so long, it's going to be really hard for me to make a judgment call. I do remember Pyramid Head being in there and was done very well. I cannot justify putting it down here with this Resident Evil. There's just no way. But we'll put Silent Hill in the middle. Okay, effects and things were good. But again, I don't do horror movies, so I hadn't really spent a lot of time with it. Okay, so Resident Evil, the one we, millennials like myself kind of grew up with. This was the first iteration of with Mila Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez, and it's a good movie. The only thing relevant to the games in the grand scheme, you have the mansion, you of course got the T-Virus, Raccoon City, but overall the main character Alice is not particularly something from the games, but it was good. This Resident Evil, I want to put it right here in the middle, but when it comes to this series of movies, the first one, I feel it wasn't the weakest. We'll put this Resident Evil in the middle because some of these other ones were definitely weaker for sure. Oh, we got another one, the final chapter, the very last one. So, I enjoyed all these movies; they were all good fun. The final chapter is going to go right here with the first one as well. It wasn't top notch, but it wasn't trash. This is the one actually. So these apparently got stacked together. Retribution. So you've got Resident Evil, then you had Apocalypse, and we're going to see it at some point. But Resident Evil and Apocalypse, then I believe it was Extinction, then Afterlife, then Retribution, then Final Chapter. So Retribution and Afterlife are the ones that, to me, were kind of lower tier as far as that series goes. Now, Extinction, I enjoyed Extinction. I did, to be completely and totally honest. I enjoyed Extinction. And since all of these are all together, we're just going to talk about them as a group, I guess. But Apocalypse, though, I got to put top tier. I really had Nemesis in it. There's that other one that I wanted to put there. It had Nemesis in it. The action was good. It just, Apocalypse to me was top tier. I really enjoyed it. Extinction was still pretty good. But the first one and Final Chapter, they were good, enjoyable. But Afterlife and Retribution to me were not, they weren't as bad as the most recent, but they were not top notch per se. So, okay, let's kick it old school. Rampage. All right. Bringing in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as he's in just about everything. But some people argue about that. I don't. I like The Rock. I still, from the only time I ever watched wrestling was back in The Rock and the Stone Cold days. And so I still refer to him as The Rock. But I enjoy his movies. I really do. We're not going to put that top tier, but I'm going to put it there. It was enjoyable. The Rock's doing a lot of splash of action comedy stuff these days, really in general, but it was fun. It was a good movie. I've seen it a couple times. Oh, Prince of Persia. I feel like my fiance is going to require me to do this. Not that I don't disagree, but Prince of Persia's got to go down here at the bottom. Okay, Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. What he did Taylor Swift's unacceptable. All right, so we're putting it at the bottom. But in all seriousness, no, the movie was fun. There was really, especially the fact that the name was, started off Sands of Time and then they dropped that off and just called it Prince of Persia. Like, I believe my DVD copy actually doesn't say Sands of Time, but it just wasn't. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't very good. But again, I know my fiance would prefer us put him right there at the bottom. So that's what we're doing. Oh, Detective Pikachu. That is a top-notch movie right there. I mean, Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. I mean, really? It writes itself. Again, so much fun to watch. I've watched that. I don't know how many times I saw it in theaters. I'm waiting for them, hopefully, to do another one. But Detective Pikachu, definitely top tier. Oh, Need for Speed. So bringing in Mr. Jesse Pinkman, Aaron Paul. Unfortunately, there's very few movies that I have walked out of the theater on. You would think I walked out of the theater on Resident Evil. I didn't. I stayed through it. Need for Speed, I didn't make it. Now, I will say the reason why. I got a work call. I wasn't overly engaged in the movie, so I left. We're putting Need for Speed down here. Now, what's funny about this is I'm a big Fast and Furious fan. So, obviously there's similarities there. But yeah, I never saw the whole movie. I wasn't motivated, so I left the theater. First Mortal Kombat. So we're going back to the 90s. First Mortal Kombat, fun movie. It was good. It wasn't Annihilation. I'm already setting up the stage where Annihilation is landing. Yes, the new Mortal Kombat was good too, which we'll get to that. We're going to stick Mortal Kombat, the original, right here. Oh, there's Annihilation. Let's drop Annihilation right down yonder. Like I said, not in line with these, but still wasn't that good. Now the new Mortal Kombat, it sounds like I'm going to have an unpopular opinion based on the majority of folks. Yes, I didn't like the Cole character, but I really enjoyed this movie. It was full of nostalgia fuel, which I thrive on. I'm really looking forward to them kind of rectifying what little mistakes that I felt were in there for the next one. I'm putting it top tier. I saw it several times, and I really, really liked it. Despite my loyalty to these Resident Evil movies and Mila Jovovich, and let's not forget Fifth Element with her in it. By the way, one of the classics. I have not seen Monster Hunter. I have it. It's on a shelf out there. Actually, that's a lie. It's not on a shelf out there. I think it's digital. But anyway, I have not seen it. So we're going to have to drop Monster Hunter smack dab here in the middle. I will go see it, though. Oh, Max Payne. Okay. All right. So, Mark Wahlberg, you love him or you hate him. Okay. This particular movie, I wasn't a huge fan of him and the character, to be honest. But, Ludacris was in it. Mila Kunis was in it. Good movie. Again, it was fun. It was a good, enjoyable movie. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I can put it up with Uncharted, Tomb Raider. Yeah, I'm going to put Max Payne up there. I've watched it several times, so it's pretty good. Oh, Super Mario Brothers. All right. So, I mean, it's Mario. All right. We all grew up with it. We all know Mario. But this movie, I enjoyed it so much as a kid. I've gone back to watch it as an adult, and I don't know. I can't, because it's Mario. I feel like it's such a disservice to put it all the way down here. We're gonna put it here and see. Although considering my opinion of Chris Pratt these days, and the fact that he's doing the voice of Mario in the Illumination movie, I don't know. This may move up and we'll bring the new animated one down, but time will tell. We'll see. Street Fighter. This is the rise of. Is the rise of Chun Li? I think is what this one is called. Let's move that over there and just blow this up a bit real quick. The Legend of Chun Li. Um, so the only reason I recall seeing this is because of Mark Clark Duncan and like McDougal, or so I can. He plays a great villain. Great villain. So I did see this. Pretty generic. Wasn't as horrible as these. But just very, very generic. Nothing. Nah. Not real big on this one. Okay. We're going to Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider. So we got The Cradle of Life. That's the second one that came out. Added Gerard Butler, who really wasn't that big at the time. It definitely wasn't as good as the first, but still pretty well enjoyed it. If I didn't know any better, yep, first one is right there. This is the first iteration of Lara Croft. I gotta pay the respect where it's due. Angelina Jolie did a great job. I had a lot of fun with that movie. Cradle of Life, I was yeah, it had Gerard Butler in it, which was great, but no, it's not as good as this one. Oh, Hitman with Timothy Olyphant. Obviously, you got Hitman Agent 47, which if I didn't know any better, is the next one. I loved Oliphant's. I love Timothy Olyphant's Hitman. I think I even said the TikTok that I did. I thought it was top tier. And you know I was a big Justified fan, so Timothy Olyphant, huge fan of. 47, I also enjoyed, but it was not the caliber for me of that one. Oh, Doom. Oh, talking about The Rock again, but also Carl Urban. Also Carl Urban. But it wasn't. No spoilers here, but the thing, the thing about Doom, I will say, is it was very cool. Yeah, we got that one next. The thing about Doom that I thought was cool is how they did the first person view at certain points in the movie, which is pretty cool. But no, it wasn't that good of a movie. So if you have seen it, hopefully you agree. You know, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, but didn't enjoy it. Like I said, I've always kind of been on that Rock hype train, but not a fan of this one. Dead or Alive. Got Yuki from, was it Too Fast, Too Furious, I believe, and I don't know who anybody else is. I can't rate this. I can't rate this because I have not seen it, believe it or not. So, not saying I may not go watch it. I'm kidding. No, I can't imagine that's probably very good. I feel like I could probably by default put it down here, but I don't know. I have not a clue. So we'll put all the not scenes right there. That's what we're gonna do. Blood Rain. Blood Rain gets rushed to down here. The Legacy of Kain games, Soul Reaver, and Blood Rain. Like I loved those games, and when this movie came out, I was very excited. I think it was a mixture of casting and it just didn't. Even from a movie, just a movie, not a video game based movie, it was not. I didn't enjoy it. So ultimately, what it boils down to, Assassin's Creed. So, not sure if you. I mean, the thing with Assassin's Creed, so it's got Fassbender in it, which obviously is some huge star power. Not real loyal to the games. Not that it was supposed to. It's kind of supposed to be its own thing. But when I saw this in theaters, actually, it was 2 days after. Not to get morbid on you, it's 2 days after my dad passed away. And I was pretty well half asleep when I saw it the first time, but I did watch it the second time. It was one of my first 4K Blu-rays that I bought. But I liked it. I did enjoy it. If it had not been Fassbender, I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it as much, to be completely honest. But it was good. Alone in the Dark, it kind of goes back to what I said with Silent Hill. I don't like scary movies in general. And Alone in the Dark, I did not play the game. Now, I will say I did play Silent Hill. It's a Hideo Kojima game. Metal Gear is my jam, so I did play Silent Hill. But Alone in the Dark, I did not. So it's going in the middle for haven't seen. And that's it. That's what I've got. This may obviously not be all of them, but I went through to kind of grab kind of the mainstream, like I said, just based on movies. If we were to throw in like Wreck-It Ralph and Gamer and Ready Player One, on this, I mean, prime example, actually, I think all three of those I just said, Ready Player One, Gamer, and Wreck-It Ralph, if we were to put these in here, all three would go up top, without a doubt. Like, there is just no doubt about that. So, but yeah, high tier video game based movies. Boom, Sonic, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Detective Pikachu, Mortal Kombat, Hitman. Utter trash. Don't put yourself through them if you haven't already. New Resident Evil, Prince of Persia, because Jake Gyllenhaal, Need for Speed, Blood Rain. But let me know in the comments what you think of this. I'm basically recording this as if I would be streaming it. So it's kind of just conversation. But let me know in the comments what you think of these. I've got this template kind of set up so I can do some more of these, going through whether it's the MCU or different genres of video games or consoles or whatever it may be. So we may get some, there's obviously a lot of things we can do. Anime, specific fights in anime, so there's a lot we can do with this. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like, subscribe. I mentioned TikTok several times. I'm doing a lot with content on there, so find me on TikTok. We are doing some giveaways on there based on follow count. So you can get some free stuff that if you thrive on nostalgia like me, you'll be able to take advantage of. So that's all we got. And take one final look there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Chase Windu is out. See y'all.